This is what I'm going to show you how to make in this video. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a full hard melodic techno track. This is one of the best templates I've ever made, and today I'm going to be breaking it down and showing you everything you need to know to make a simple but extremely powerful track in this style and really get past any blockage you might have and just make the track of your dreams today. This is a whole 6-minute arrangement here of this full hard melodic techno track. The link is right at the top of the description. Don't miss out, guys. You get a full arrangement that you can learn from. If you've been stuck with loops, this is a great way to get out of it. Plus, just a bunch of amazing sounds for inspiration or to really help you if you're stuck. Link is at the top of the description. This really helps support me, but also it's to support you guys. You've got a really awesome template here for a super accessible price. Link is at the top of the description. Enjoy, guys. Let's dive in. So we're at 142 BPM. First thing up here is going to be the kick. Now, this kick is made of a few different layers. Most of what you're hearing when you hear this whole group is that kick. So we got that. We got the punch, which is that same kick, but you can see I made it super short with the ADSR. And then I've got this EQ3 here, cutting the lows out, distorting it a little bit, and then just converting it to mono with the rumble. We're using an arpeggiator. I drag the start time forward. This can kind of work as a pitch control when you're making this kind of rumble, because right up at the start, it's very high pitched, and then you can take it and find the lows. It's just being sidechain and then a bit of EQ to cut out the lows that you wouldn't really hear, converting it to mono. So yeah, you don't really need any effects because this already has so much texture just from the sample. And if you put a lot of effects, like I was trying to do some reverb, it was honestly just taking away from the bass. It sounds better. Just let it breathe. We have this mid bass, same rumble, but I've got it doing 8th notes. And then this is going through some reverb, amp, low pass, sidechain, high pass, and then another high pass. And that just adds like a in there. Like I'll show you, here's just the rumble. And see how when I turn on that mid bass, it gives us like that movement in there. That's what that does. If you have just the rumble, it's fat and it's powerful, but it doesn't have the movement. Then we have this layer, which is also adding that same kind of mid-range. So again, it's that rumble with the 8th note arpeggiator. This one's going through some delay into an amp. We have a low pass after that, which is a good way to really shape it. Because if you don't do that, I mean, if you take away all this filtering, this is not really gonna fit. It's literally that. So you have to cut out those highs, cut out those lows, but then the stuff in the mid-range can fit really well over that rumble. See, when you play that with the rumble, we go from this to this. So it all comes together. Then on the group, we have a bit of saturation just blended, a high pass filter which comes on and then also makes it disappear there, and then a limiter to just kind of glue it all. We have the drums. You can see super powerful and fat. We have a nice open hi-hat. It's like a powerful 909. We have the first rave loop, which I made from scratch here. So a lot of people ask how to make the rave loops from scratch, because a lot of times it is just an audio loop. This is what it is. You can see we have these different layers of percussion. And you can see what really gives it that animated rave loop sound is the effects. You can see we have, so this is like a percussion, right? It's just being programmed, I think, to play some different 16th notes, on the 16th note upbeats there. And then we have a phaser, a filter, some echo, and then that's all being distorted. So it's like you get this very like moving sound. And then you have like this one. And then see how like they start to kind of play off each other? So for all the people asking how to make rave loops from scratch, there you go. It's just these different like call and response things happening between the different elements. And then I've got that side chain a little bit to this side chain up here, which is just a muted kick that I made really short so that I can control the length. Got a high pass filter. We have this snare, which is made with an 808 snare, right? Just like classic drum machine sound. You have this in like any version of Ableton. We have a little bit of reverb and then just some overdrive. And the overdrive is what really gives it that nice and that's really all you need, right? Like there's a lot of, I've done a lot of that like distorted 909 clap on here. But I wanted to show you guys like, you know, you can just keep it really simple too. You just need a nice right that just sits really well over the kick. Then we have the ride. This is a bit of a new ride sound as well. I've never shown you guys this before, where I'm actually layering two together. We have the classic 909, which you always want, right? That's always going to be in there. We just got a high pass filter on that. But we also have this one, which is obviously very different from the 909, right? Like that's the thing about layering. You can't use two similar sounds. They have to be two things that do different things. But when you put those together, you get like this really full ride, and it really punches through the mix. And then those are grouped together. We have a little bit of chorus, a high pass filter, and then it's just being sidechain. We have one more rave loop to kind of sit on top of that other one. Right? And this one also does like these little reverses, where you just reverse it right before a big drop. That kind of stuff. This one though, you can see the processing is pretty simple. If I play it with the other rave loop though, you can hear it. Like they fit together. It's two different. That's what you want. When you're layering rave loops, just be very careful. Because if you just use two similar ones, it's going to become a mess. You want something like this where it's two things that fit on top of each other. And then the last thing in the drums here is this little clap. And this actually just plays in this one spot. So it kind of goes with the reverse. You get like this. It's like the. I want to show you guys how to do that. So yeah, you have the reverse rave loop. And then right before, on the 4 there, see on that last quarter note, right before the drop, you have this clap, and then there's a tape stop. And the way we do the tape stop, that's that pitching down. It's using an echo. So what you're going to do is just take the dry wet, automate it to come on right just for that one quarter note like this, turn off the filter, and then the last step here is unsync the delay, and then just automate that to go like that. And there you go, you get the sound. And that makes it really powerful going into that drop, like you can hear that. Great. Then on the drum group, we just have a little bit of drum bus, but it's being blended. It's like 8%. Like anything more than that was too much. Even like 10%. You would think you wouldn't be able to hear it even, but it actually like, it's just a little tiny bit of this to glue it all together without being too much and over crunching it. Because I've done a lot of over crunching it before, and you're just going to waste a lot of time to do that. I've got a low pass filter, which does a little bit of transitioning here and there, and then a high pass. And then we move on to the synths. It's literally just 3 synths. That's the thing about this type of track, is that the best track in this style is really just going to be like a very few amount of synths. But just, they're all very impactful. So we got this bass. is made with wavetable. We've got a square wave with a bit of pulse width up there, and then a saw wave, classic unison. This echo, which really just comes on in this one part for like this transition to make it disappear. This is just for that part. We have a multi-band distortion processing thing where it's just the lows are basically being made mono with no processing, no distortion, right? You can hear that. And then the highs and mids are going through this amp, which is being pointed in there. And that's a good way to make this stand out too. When you have this playing with the kick. See if I turn that off? See what I'm saying there? Then we've got EQ, which is cutting out the lows, sidechain, low pass filter, which automates, and then this high pass, which just comes on every time the kick is playing so that they don't clash. We have these keys. Which we're in the key of B minor. You can see that from the bass line. And yeah, it's just like this simple stuff really that just fits over that. Like, okay, for example, root note, 6th, 5th, 6th, minor 7th. It's just playing with notes from that scale. We've got wavetable, arpeggiator, chord triggers, so you're getting that dun 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 dun. And it's got a short envelope, bit of unison, chorus, reverb, sidechain, high pass, and then a low pass to bring it in and out. And then the last layer is this lead, which is really spaced out. And you can see it kind of has two parts. But they're both in B minor. So it's all going to fit over that bass line nicely. But it gives you a chance to hear the bass line and then the lead. It's not just all rapid fire at once. We have a saw wave and then another saw wave. Detune a little. Noise unison, reverb, drum bus, and high pass it. And then sidechain. And then a low pass which just brings it in and out. Last thing down here is just one simple effect. You really don't want that much effects at all for this type of track. Let's see this little. It's just like a reverse crash to just bring you into the track like that. And yeah, so that's gonna be it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed. As always, make sure to like this video as well as subscribe, and let me know what you think of this video in the comments. Like I said, you can get this full project file, literally the entire track arrangement is available right at the top of the description. This is the best thing you can do right now to immediately take your tracks to the next level. It's really going to help support you and take you to where you've been trying to get. Link is at the top of the description. Thank you so much for the support, everybody, and I'll see you tomorrow with another video.